Welcome to Ask an Expert, where a technical product expert answers questions from our customers. Hello, this is John Appleson, Marketing Manager with Pepperl+Fuchs. Today I'm joined by Zach Steck. Zach works as an application engineer here at Pepperl+Fuchs. So welcome, Zach, and thanks for being here.
Hi, John. Thanks for asking me.
Okay, the first question asks about how to configure the VAS 2A K12 safety monitor with an SLC OSI MasterCard for an Allen Bradley SLC 5/03 CPU. Can you please explain?
This safety monitor is configured using the OSIMon software. There's a trial version of this software available for download from our website, but the full version would need to be purchased. The monitor connects to the PC using the cable model VAZ-SIMON-R2, and then you can create your safety network. If you are simply replacing a failed K12 safety monitor, you can use the RJ45 jumper, VAZ-SIMON-RJ45, to transfer the configuration from the failed unit to the identical replacement. Further information on this procedure can be found in our ASI maintenance and troubleshooting guide.
This next customer is trying to detect the presence of 10 stainless steel U-bends in a product transfer panel, which is about 14 inches away from the sensor. However, the PLC is approximately 175 feet away. He has selected an ML7 series retroreflective photoelectric sensor and is asking if we have cables that would connect to the PLC at that distance, or if we have an option to use a signal repeater. Zach, would you share your thoughts on this?
I would not be too concerned with a cable length of 175 feet with a digital output sensor, assuming there is not a lot of electrical noise in the area. For this length, our best cabling option would be a 100-meter spool of raw cable and the addition of a field attachable connector to mate with the sensor. We do not offer any signal repeaters for this type of output, but it would not be necessary in this case.
Zach, this customer is using a UB1000-18GM75 ultrasonic sensor to record the deflection of a rotating cylinder as it is rotated and heat is applied. The customer wants to know if they need to set up the initial distance with a program cable or if they need a cable to connect to the sensor, and if they do, what is the model number?
The UB-PROG2 programming unit is not mandatory to adjust the range on this sensor. It also features a teach input which allows you to configure your analog limits by connecting this input to the DC plus or DC minus of your power supply. This procedure can be found on the datasheet. The UB-PROG2 does make things a little easier though, as it features a push button design. This sensor is a quick disconnect type, so it would require a cable for powering the sensor. An example model is V15-G-2M-PVC for a 2-meter length.
This next customer wants to use the NCB10 30GM40 N05M inductive sensor in a classified area where it will be exposed to harsh environmental and offshore conditions. Zach, what are your thoughts on this?
The NCB10 30GM40 N05M is GL approved for use in offshore or marine applications, so it would be suitable for these environmental conditions.
Okay, here's another inductive sensor question. This customer would like to use an MBN40 L2E2 V1 inductive sensor. He states that the environment is very wet and the sensor would be exposed to water spray and high humidity. He'd like to know if the sensor will work reliably 100% of the time in this environment.
The NBN40 L2E2 V1 has an IP protection rating of IP69K, which is protection against high pressure, high temperature washdowns. I would not foresee any issues using this sensor in the described environment. However, this sensor is a quick disconnect type, so you'd want to ensure that the cable matches the IP protection rating of the sensor.
Well, that concludes this segment of Ask an Expert. I'd like to thank Zach for joining me today and thank our audience as well. For additional information, here are 5 easy ways to connect with us.